Yo, what's up? Hope you're having a good day. This video is very important, so make sure to watch till the end. In previous videos, I talked about what to do to get strong. I mean like a hell farm, killing deaths, doing events till you reach maximum stamina daily, and that's called hell farm. And I gave you some tips to make it easier. And then I told you about things that you can buy from event store, also stuff that event itself, event stages drop, event rankings and stuff like that. But now it's time to talk about what to do with these items. So this time we're gonna talk about how to improve yourself using the stuff that you got from event store and stuff like that. In this video, I will focus on main attack enbler, if I say it better, and how to improve your status. And in first place, what is a status? Also, we'll talk about formation a bit, but most of the formation talk would go to the next video, which is about sub-emblers and mainly focusing on formation. So let's go. First of all, let's see what is the status. When you hit someone or do event like in hover and stuff like that, what is actually affecting and showing that you're strong is this status thing. So this power number up here is totally useless. For seeing what is your status, you need to do one of these two things. One, go to arena and hit a random guy. I will just make my formation. For now, because I'm dead main and even I don't have a good status on attackers in this my main attack embler, I also use T9 deaths as defenders. So this is my formation all set and maxed. Okay, I'm gonna hit this random guy, poor soul. You can see this report after any kind of battle. You can also hit a random schooling map to see that. So when this is done, it will give you a report. Make sure to hit a player. If you hit dead in Arna, you won't get a report. And then here, this is a status. Right now, this is my status, not very bright, but at least it's enough to, you know, hold myself together. And this thing, this boost is a status. Like for example here, my dead HP and dead attack, attacker HP, attacker def. These are the boosts, and depending on which kind of troops that you use, it's getting more important, these boosts. I mean, like, I don't use mobiles, so this mobile troops status part is totally useless for me, and it's kind of stupid to focus it to improve it. So we players choose a type of troops and make that type of troop strong, and these boosts are what is actually called status. When I was in newbie, I saw people talking about the status and I had no fucking idea what is this status thing. Now I do, and I'm telling you guys in case you don't know as well. So these boosts here are status. And there is another way to get this information, which is the other way is to hit a random school in map and wait for the report. Okay, this is the report. And again, you can see the information here. And this booth has a little difference from the booth that you see in Arena, because in Arena, there is some sort of passive Arena boosts as well in effect. And we can get them in lab or some emblers. Also, it's a bit different structure. But when you hit a school, also the offense boost will add up. And you see the boosts are different a bit. But because kind of these differences are so little, I sometimes when I don't want to break my shield and I just want to test it, or I don't want to get 1 hour of CD, I test it on Arena. And I recommend you to, when you do any kind of changes to your formation, test it in Arena. So what and where we can get this status thing and improve it? This is what we do. There's many ways to improve this status. One is the lab and boosting lab, and there's some upgrades that you do and you get what you want. I'm not gonna make it in this video because it will be so long, and I will just make some extra videos about it, but finding them is also very easy, and it differs depending on what type of troops you use, you gotta upgrade different type of buffs. So it's not a general tip to all. You gotta choose it for yourself. But again, I will do extra videos for shooter users and dead users, and even if I had time for mobile users. They are rare, but well, they are. And some of them are very strong. The other way is these emblers and their passive boosts in like when you level up them, you get some boosts like in here, skills, and you see them. The other way is in Kizuna, and if I add these things to this video would be extra long, so let's skip them. But the main part which is affecting a lot is your main embler equipment. If you saw right, I did use my ZRS2 as my leader embler, like here, if we got another, okay, I did use this formation. And as you can see, my main embler, leader embler, is ZRS2, and there is some sort of equipment on this embler, and these equipments add some buff to that status thing, and a large part of your status is coming from this equipment. So now again, I'm gonna try the same school, or maybe not same school because it's already in boarding status, but I'm gonna try this one. But this time without this embler. I'm gonna pull it off and try hitting. There it is, and report should be here anytime soon. There. Now take a look at difference. It's so big, especially in HP, because most of my equipments on my ferry is for HP, because you see, attack is easier to get with Kizuna and other stuff, but the HP is hard. So I focused my equipment on HP. It's a tip right now I'm saying to you guys. And between different kind of equipments that you can put on your main embler, the best type that it is in game right now is ferry equipment. Ferry is just based on your luck, and my ferry are not very perfect. I mean, like I have 2 coordination and like 4 collapse, not even a full set, but it does what it should do. But at the same time, I'm not extremely strong or something like that, but it's good to aim and get strong for it. To create ferry, there is different ways to get a ferry. One is to get a ferry box from event, and this is how it looks like, and you can use that and you get the equipment that you want. Now, because I want to improve my ferries, I'm gonna take a look at my equipments that I have and see which one of them is weaker. Because I'm looking for HP on these equipments, so my main focus is on dead troops HP. But in case that you are using attackers as your defenders, and that is actually better, you should also look for attacker HP and attacker def. Attacker def is sometimes the more important than HP. In this case, attacker def is more important because it will tank your troops, not defending your school. So I'm deciding to go with this equipment and try to create this one and see if I'm lucky enough to get a better ferry or no. Let's use the box first. And the piece that I wanted would be this one. Let me be lucky. Equipment. Here. Not a very good start actually. But let's try upgrade it 2 times to see what is the new boost looks like. At this point, I can see that I'm not lucky with this equipment and I should split it up because there is a very low chance of getting a decent boost as the last boost. The ferry equipment can get up to 4 boosts. And when you start, sometimes you're lucky enough to start with 4 boosts, and when you upgrade the ferry, you get actually more out of these boosts. I'm gonna show you, but this piece is kind of useless. I can see that I'm very unlucky with that, and I will be wasting my platinum if I keep on upgrading this one. So I just, at the same time, I can't give up on this piece. It's hard, but let's just do it. I mean, I'm deep down, I feel like maybe the last move would be the dead HP, and in next upgrades, it will upgrade that dead HP thing, and it will be great. But you know, there is a low chance, so stop yourself from keeping and upgrading to that equipment to maximum. So I'm gonna just split it to get more platinum. Then again, before creating a ferry, let's come here. we do need platinum, purple ore, and agate. Agate is, well, you know, in the stages, agate is dropping like water. So it's easy to get that, but before it wasn't at all. And now it's platinum and ore that is harder to get, especially ore. And there's some ways to get those things, as you can see here in my inventory. They are like peeling off, and I did keep this platinum and ore for this video, and I had a hard time stopping myself from using them. To get these things, there is two general ways, or actually I should say three, to get them, and you can actually get a nice amount every 2 weeks. It's not hard even without veiling. Okay. Now let's talk about how to get these things, because I know most of you are having trouble with that. The first way is to buy from shop. I hope shop is here and it's not Lazy Devs again. They have the same problem with same event every month, and they didn't fix it for so long time. Anyway, in the store you can actually buy that platinum and ore thing, but it's so fucking expensive. Like, if I remember correctly, even the first batches for purple ore is like 3k, 3.6k, and it's so expensive that you can only get 2 ore out of that, and you need like, if I remember correctly, 90 ore to make a fairy equipment. It's so mind blowing, and don't waste your money, your tokens on shop on them. I did talk about it. Because you will take ages to get what you want, and you will just waste that tokens. Well, you can buy so many better stuff for cheaper price, and that can be help you more. The other way is to getting it from rankings. The top 100 in every day of events will get ranking rewards, and based on your rank, actually the reward will be different. Some of events doesn't have platinum and ore thing, like this one doesn't have, but most of events have that, and toy event also have that, and toy event is one of the easiest events that you can rank without veiling. You just need to rally all day. It's boring, it's tiring, but it's possible, and you can get a lot in that event easily. The other way is to get it from the Z-Bag Carnival event. It does have platinum boxes or boxes, and even the fairy box, the full fairy box in the last stage. Also in other stage it does have the platinum and ore, but not the fairies equipment box. That can be helpful to you a lot, and finishing that event is kind of easy. It just needs you to be active all 2 weeks. I mean, like, it needs you to be an active player, buying all Z bags in shop and something like that. Yes, that's all for it. And that's the other way is actually the passes, the Mecha Pass, and also the I forgot the name, Battle Pass. Also the new Monopoly event that does also have what you need, platinum and ore, and a lot of that. So make sure to finish that event as well. You can also go back, look at my Monopoly event video. That should be helpful for you. And after that you get nice amount of them, you're gonna just use them, and now it's time to create. We go here and choose the piece that we want and create. It just needs a little bit of alloy as well, and then speed up. Let's see what we got is actually worthless or we were lucky. Okay, this one is what I got, and attacker HP is so nice, and attacker HP is good. So I'm gonna try to upgrade this and see if I'm lucky enough to get the dead HP out of it as well or no. Okay, mobile HP, not a good start. Dead HP, nice. Last one, shooter def, not very good. Mobile again. And the next upgrade won't increase this boost at all. It will just set the type of equipment. The fifth upgrade will just set up the type of fairy that you got. There's 3 kind of fairies, and for attack enbler, it doesn't matter what kind of it is. So it's not going to upgrade and add up more than this. So yes, I think I should just split this thing up because attacker HP alone would be useless. And I do again split it up. Oh, if I did talks a lot. Then create again the same piece until we get lucky. Honestly, it's not about luck, it's about doing it over and over. So when you see someone having a nice fairy set, it means that he or she worked his ass to get what he wanted or she wanted. Okay, this one has 3 poofs, good news, and there's a troop defting as well, which is working both on attackers and deads, which is good news for me. And okay, attacker attack useless. Troop def good, but please go on dead HP, shooter HP. Ew. The next upgrade won't add up to status. Again, if I was a shooter user, this was a very good news, but I'm not, so yes, split again. We go again, create. You see, I'm already lacking purple aura, so I can't create more than this. You see, you just repeat this process until you get the buff that you want, and in the 5th upgrade, it will give you equipment with set buff. Now let's talk about the structure of this thing. Okay, this one is... I keep this one for a reason. I will just upgrade this one to see. Now it set up the equipment, but it didn't add up to buffs that it already was there. I keep this one, I think, for attacker def. Now let's talk about different kind of fairies that actually existing and what I do mean by that. There is 3 kind of fairy and each of them has a good use, but most of us mainly know this type. You see here? And what is the difference? There is this type, coordination, collapse, and this type, and they got different buffs, different set buffs. These buffs are the regular buffs that actually taking effect, and doesn't matter what kind of fairy it is, and even if you don't upgrade it to the 5th stage, it will take effect. But you need to upgrade the fairy to the 5th stage and get this type thing here to be able to use set buffs as well. So upgrade it when you see the fairy is worth it. And you know, the creating fairy is just calculating if this equipment has a chance of getting better or no, is the buff gonna be better or no. And what I do for that is when I have 2 useless buffs, I do try my chance for the 3rd one. If the 3rd one is also useless, I will just split that equipment because it's useless. There's a very little chance of upgrading the last one and getting what you want, and also having the chance that in next upgraded, the little buff that you got in the last round would be upgraded again and again and make it a strong fairy. So it's about deciding, and right decision will help you to get a good fairy and save up your props. If you make a wrong decision and make every fairy that you got to the last stage, you will just lose tons of props and the props that you can actually use to get better stuff. So don't do that. And it depends on what enbler that you're gonna put this fairy thing on it. If it's the enbler that actually defending your school, for me, this is her, and I do recommend using her as your defense guardian enbler because she has nice passive buff for that. And then I do put this type of fairy on it. All 6 parts on her are this type because look at this set buff. Means that this enbler will never get capped and it will never go to the enemy prison, no matter what. It will stand in your school till the very end, defend your school, and you know, if you actually got burned once or and you saw the report, you will see that as long as enbler is in your school, you have little losers, especially if you have a strong equipment and that enbler can actually defend your school. But the moment that enbler is capped, you will lose the equipment buffs on the enbler, and your status will drop like hell, as you saw already in my video in beginning. Then you will have tons of losers, tons of wounded, and yes, you're very much effed up. But when the enbler stays in school, no matter what, losing or winning, this thing will not happen again. This thing will save your ass. This thing will save you, and you will be just fine. Of course, it doesn't matter that how much of a status that you get on that equipment, your passive boost, and some other factors, your wall, anything affects, but this is the biggest factor that can help. So if you're creating equipment set and you already don't have this 6 set of these preference, make sure to aim for it. And if you got a preference, even the buff was shit, keep it. If you don't have the 6 set, if you have, then you have. Because having that, and in this preference set, you should focus on attacker HP, because we fill our walls with attackers because they are the best defending troops, the T10 attackers. Fill our walls with that to have the least losers possible to be able to defend ourselves, be able to defend ourselves. So it's important to have attacker HP on here. Attacker def should be helpful as well, but not much, because attacker def is actually this. Attacker HP means that your attacker troops will die less, but attacker def means that your attacker troops will defend other kind of troops in your formation, and since in your wall there's only attackers, this def thing is kinda a bit useless. A bit, just a bit. In wall, we prioritize our losers, so we try to make it less and less this losers thing, because we have a limited capacity clinics, and the less the losers are, the more time will take the attacker to zero your troops, kill them, and fill your clinic. And meanwhile, maybe you were lucky enough to log in game and heal the troops. And if you were not lucky enough, at the very least, you lost less troops. And so first aim for a 6 set of this thing to be able to secure your wall, even if you got some of them with a very bad buff. But after you done that, after you got these 6 of them, now you're gonna see which piece of this equipment has the most least buff, and then you try creating that again and again and again. And in case that you've got a nice buff, but that the kind wasn't the this kind that you were aiming for example, you got nice amount of dead HP and you were a dead user, but this you were aiming to get this one, you should not split that equipment. Just put it on your second enbler that will be your attack enbler, the enbler that you're gonna use to attack others or do events, because this enbler will stay in your school forever and not gonna move from there even a centimeter. After that, you actually got a nice 6 fairy set for your guarding enbler. Now you're gonna focus on your attack enbler, what I am doing right now, and decide to focus on the type of move that you want. Depending on troops that you use, this type would be different. I'm a dead user, I do need dead HP and dead attack, but dead attack is easier to get in in this Kizuna things and other stuff, so I focus on dead HP and increase it. So I focus on dead troops HP. But this enbler that I send should also have a tank formation thing, which is with attackers usually. And I do need attacker def and attacker HP here. Attacker def is more important because it will save your other troops that will deal damage, and that is more important to you than attacker HP. So don't forget attacker def here. And if you're a shooter user, you actually need shooter attack and shooter HP again. But the thing is, shooters have so little HP as their base status. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go take a look at the first videos about different types of troops. That will help you. Now let's talk about the other 2 types of fairies that there is. I mean the coordination type and the collapse type. Let's look at the boosts and compare. Okay, final damage 10%. all troops attack distance means this one will increase the range and this one will increase in damage. Honestly, in all games, damage is kind of more important, but so far I find that damage has no difference with attack, and that's kind of a bit very useless thing. So I would rather this distance here. I would rather have this final damage thing than this increased range thing. But increased range has a nice effect, which is would make your troops harder to reach, and will put them on the back line of your troops more, so they will be hurt less. Something like this, logic like this. The 4-piece buff, when the maximum rotation of troops is mobile troops. Well, at this part you will know that this 4-piece of this is totally useless for most of us because there is very very little mobile users. Now the 4 type is about shoot troops. Then congratulations if you're a shooter user, but if you're a dead user, this will not be a lose for you again. But if you're a shoot user, this is very very nice. Then the 6-piece. It says that if your army has all 5 kind of troops, meaning projects, dead, mobile, shooters, and attackers, which is a very ridiculous formation that no one does, except if you're doing the auto one. And this will be very very useless to you because we don't meet the condition that is needed for this. And the last one for the collapse is every 10 rounds the damage of all members is increased by 50% and the upper limit is 300. This thing is very nice. That's why almost all of the whales or strong players try to create and create and create to reach this 6 collapse thing for their attack enbler, not the defend enbler. For their attack enbler to have it. But I personally prefer having equipment with higher buff than just having 6 coordination anyway and to get this last buff. Honestly, I think these passive buffs are way more important here. And also, the other thing that affecting your equipments is the element thing. As you can see the buffs here. And let's see, take a look at the elements. I do want dead HP, so I put dead HP here and other elements that are useful for me here. You should do the same and try to improve your elements bit by bit. I'm lacking in elements each time I do focus on them. The other thing affecting is this power equipment and this legendary equipment that you put. Of course you should put your legendary equipment because that's the highest thing that you have among other equipments. If you don't, you should put some orange crap equipment. I don't recommend. And that's how you can improve your status